And welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Astral Stew. Yeah. We need somebody with like some bass skills needs to make us a jingle. We need an Astral
I come from a
Stew.
fishing family, so I only know people have bass skills.
Still got to jiggle the bait.
So Stefan's like, come over and look at all the bass on my wall, and you get there.
They all sing.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. All of them turn and look at you, singing.
I saw a guy who took, so you've seen the spirit boxes, right? The pick up radio stations and say things or whatever. Well, I saw a guy that took one and wired it into one of those talking fish. So whenever it says anything, the fish talks.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So anyways, welcome everybody back to another tantalizing, delicious episode of Astral Stew. It has been 1 month since we last spoke to you from across the room or the country or the world.
The electronic pond.
What's that?
The electronic pond.
The electronic pond. So to get things started today, we thought, since it's been such a hot topic, Hot Topic's not a sponsor, but would be open to it if you want to consider.
More of a Spencer's guy myself.
Yeah, or Spencer's. Y'all could war it out.
Pier 1 doesn't exist anymore.
What is it?
Pier 1. That's what I would
Pier
say,
1.
but they don't exist anymore.
That's not really related to Spencer's or Hot Topic, though.
Yes, it is in the joke of chains that we're addicted to. Do you see how it would have been a setup that worked out there? I mean,
okay. I was never addicted to Pier 1, so I didn't get the joke.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it wasn't meant for
you were addicted to Hot Topic.
Exactly.
I
wasn't addicted to Hot Topic.
Spencer's.
This is why you're the straight man.
West Coast Video, maybe West Coast Video. How about that? No. Okay. Anyways, Babbage's maybe. I don't know. So, since it's been such a hot topic, maybe we start off talking about the UAP topic and where things are and how they're progressing. And yeah. So, Santosh, you had some along that line. You had something you wanted to talk to us about, and then I've got something that just happened like a week ago. So go ahead.
Cool. Mine's about a month ago, but I wanted to save it to see your all's reactions because we haven't talked about this at all, but I'm interested to know if you all been looking into the Peruvian face peelers. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God. So there's this whole UFO thing going on. I just Googled it and I could find the thing, but I know it said in Peru. There's this video of this well, the only video I saw is when the 15-year-old girl that was abducted got brought back and the whole village ran into the forest chasing after them. Supposedly these things are about 7-8 foot tall, like the grays with big eyes and the things, but they've been abducting people for a minute in this little town. And they found, like, there was one dude, I don't remember what number he was in abductions, but they found him and the face was clean to the bone.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And I don't think that's the only case of it, but
was that it? Was that a pun?
You tell me. I'm not the punny one of the group. You tell me.
That's crazy.
I can't believe you all haven't heard about that yet. I thought,
no.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit, man.
That's what they based that movie with Nicolas Cage and Face Off. I'll take his face.
Yes.
It was all about the Peruvian face peelers. Maybe, I don't know.
The video I saw made an allusion to Predator, the movie.
Yeah,
and I was like,
so I'm looking at it here. It's like all over Reddit. There's all kinds of stuff. Although, like, most of it all seems to stem back to one person's blog entry on walkingtheamazon.com. So
is that what Wiki just told you?
I don't know. Maybe. And then, of course,
I don't think it was up for debate whether or not it happened, but whether or not it was weird.
Oh, it wasn't a debate whether or not it happened?
I think the Peruvian government's saying that it's hunters trying to scare them off of land so they can exploit it somehow. I thought you all would know more, or I would have gathered more information.
Oh, no, I had not heard of that. I haven't been on the news front in a hot minute. So
like I said, it first started kicking around, or I noticed it first about a month ago.
Well, I mean, of course, you got, that's where, the Nazca lines are in Peru. And so they, the whole thing there is they're so big that you have to be seen from the sky.
Maybe it was a very bad ayahuasca trip. We talk about melting your face off and certain levels of drug doing, right? My face was melted off. Well, here we go. It's happened.
Right. Well, I immediately thought of that movie with Roddy Piper. What is it? They Live? The alien faces, because they always just look like their faces were peeled off. Like
with the special, that's where the dicyanin thing came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there an alien movie where they do that? Where they take the faces and put them on themselves or whatever? I don't remember.
And then they rip the faces off.
Yeah, I'm not a horror movie kind of guy, so
sci-fi. You wouldn't understand.
It's still Event Horizon is sci-fi, but it's still horror to me as well, and so
that's technically sci-fi horror.
Leverage.
So it bridges the gap, I guess, for genre. So
that was mine. Tried to get us all riled up.
Well, now I'm thinking about.
I think we reached level meh with it. So I'm pleased.
So
moving on.
Well, I have one quick question. Okay, as it relates to face peelers, do you think they use the vertical peeler or the horizontal peeler, or was it vertical? You know what I'm talking
binary. About? Why does it have to be one of the two?
Yeah,
step outside the binary, please.
I was thinking a cheese grater, so.
And then it would be all holy and stuff.
You got to just keep working.
What if they have teleportation technology and they just teleported his face?
Oh.
Or also, this is. Oh, go ahead, because I've got one.
Oh, I was just going to make a reference to Nightbreed when that guy cuts his face, the pieces of his face off to try to let the Midian let them know he's worthy.
Doesn't that happen in Jeepers Creepers? Or does he just take parts?
No, he took skin, because remember the whole tattoo? They made sure to show you that guy's tramp stamp on the front and get a picture of it. So
yeah, there you go.
Also, time traveling cryptids. That's my new favorite theory, and there was nowhere else to weave that in the show. Just throwing.
I also really like that improv group. It's really
time traveling
cryptids. Also a punk band. So
yeah,
us in another reality.
Yeah.
Yes, it's our secret podcast.
So Josh, what did you have?
About a week ago, there was a news article on News Nation, and of course now you can go to archives.gov and see it. But the National Archives have digitized many of their UFOs/UAP files. So now it's all on archives.org. I would imagine it's probably they got tired of being asked for the same case files over and over again in a FOIA, and so they just throw them up there. But there's looks like the most recent things, as far as when it was last updated, is Project Blue Book files, last updated in 2020. But I think there's some other stuff that's coming soon that they just completed the digitization and now will be loading. If you go to News Nation and look up, UFO digitation or something like that, I'm sure the article is out there. But yeah, that'll be interesting when it hits, because then you could actually maybe go even search for keyword and stuff by specific cases and see if they digitize it. What I think might be happening, my 2 cents, is that they may be putting some real case information that nobody has in the midst of 500,000 records, right? That unless you're just out there every day or going through all the stuff, come across something, it's kind of all barium and paperwork type mentality. So But yeah, that's, as far as I know, that's the only kind of new kind of breaking news information as it relates to the UAP topic from the government. You know, we haven't heard anything else from Grush or any of that kind of stuff, which, like we spoke about in our last show, we didn't really anticipate that we would. You know, like I think Santosh, you even said it, that, you know, his role is, as far as the public facing role, is now complete. But it will be interesting to see if anything else does come of that. But so far, you know, 2 months or so past the hearings, really no additional movement in that regard. So
I want to say that I agree that, I think my analogy would be the file hidden in the cake that got delivered. And so they're going to be there. It's like, we told you it was there. Like, oh, come on, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was filed in the basement of that place nobody ever goes to.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I really think that's, you know, when the UK, you know, put all their records up several years ago, people found all kinds of stuff in there that they didn't think they would find. So I think that you know, it's possible for this to be the same.
Well, and there's people that will comb through that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that Black Bolt.
I am not
Bolt
that
guy,
person.
No, I want somebody to. Yeah, I want somebody else to do it and find me the highlights that I can read. So.
Yeah, Black Vault dude, totally do it.
Yep. So, anyways, well, that's the UAP topic. Are you all good to shift gears a little bit and talk about the other thing?
I think we'll find out.
Now, Stefan, I saw you making the shift gears motion, but do you know how to drive a stick shift?
Hell no.
What? You don't?
No. You had to drive Justin's car when we were in college because I couldn't do it.
Yeah. You should learn. You never know when you're going to be out.
No,
somewhere.
I tried. Do you not remember me trying? Nathan trying to teach me, and
it was like,
Justin Sullivan trying to teach me.
Like you kept...
I can't handle first gear. I can't do the slipping.
I'm gonna
grind it till you find it.
This is what I like. Let's go.
I was gonna say, why should you learn to drive a stick now? It would make more sense to be prepping to drive a spaceship.
Exactly.
What if the first spaceships are stick shifted?
Sticks.
It would be.
That seems like such a dick move.
I even have a sports shifter on my car, and I don't know how to use it.
You put it in manual mode and you hit the button.
Yeah, no, it freaks me out.
But then you got to listen to the RPMs where you go, and you're like, why am I only going 20 miles an hour now?
I thought you were about to sing a country song.
I was strumming.
Anyways,
but I was strumming for you.
Thanks.
Thanks for sticking around through our comedy intermission. So next topic up is, I thought about this the other day. Let's say you have a business. Let's book the Stanley Hotel. It's in Colorado. And people come far and wide to stay at the Stanley Hotel because it is haunted. Are there any, I don't know, ethical concerns with using spirits to further your business? Like, because there's no way to get consent from the spirits necessarily. And then that raises a whole other question of, do spirits have rights?
See, my first thing is a counter question or statement that I think it's about the type of haunting, where it borders for me. Because when it's sentient and it's trapped and it's begging for help, then I think that you should, not be so callous as to ignore that. But places have memories.
Right.
And so as long, if that's already on replay, if you don't clean it too well,
if it's like, every night at 9:30, the light in the dining room comes on, right? That's a memory type haunt. Whereas you go to room 213 where someone supposedly died in 1976, and you ask questions and get responses, that's well beyond a memory type haunt. It's interacting with you, right? And so, if it's interacting with you, is it trapped there? Is it choosing to be there? I don't know. So it's
is it positively or negatively interacting with you? Because there are examples of both those.
Well, and then what if is it ethically okay to come in and cleanse that place and be like, I send you to the light,
right?
And then ruin that person's business?
I mean, what? Yeah. What if somebody goes in and cleanses the Stanley Hotel, and then everybody who comes doesn't have any sort of experience? Does that business now have a legal right to sue that person for cleansing a space that they didn't ask them to cleanse?
I mean, there were signs up in the Whispers estate. Don't tell them to move on. Don't tell them to go to the light. Don't tell them to do this or that. Because they wanted it the way that it was. And historic preservation, I guess I could be like, yeah. But again, yeah, for me, it's more like, because also here's just another monkey wrench for me is, what if that's that spirit's karma and they're working through that, and you're screwing all of the effort that's been put in to burn that karma up to the point by saying, I know what's better for you, go to the light. Whereas maybe they would have, escaped the whole wheel if they were just allowed 7 more years to suffer.
Right.
Well, I mean, but when you go that route, then it's impossible to know the answer to that question.
It's one of those ones you have to answer for yourself.
So what if it's like, I'm just going to open the door to the light and you can choose if you're going to go or not.
Right? I'm going to take the cover off the manhole. If you fall
unless
in
the
it,
light works like a vacuum or like a ghost trap from Ghostbusters that sucks you and you're like, no, I wanted to suffer. I mean, I know some people that like to suffer, so they would probably be like, no, I wanted to keep suffering.
Yeah. I mean, it's
because I feel like it butts right up to the same the healer's quandary of, are you hurting the disease in order to help the person?
Yeah.
And then I think it's just one of those you got to work out on your own.
Yep. I don't know. We actually, so I think we exhausted that topic. Unless you have anything.
Well, no, you never said how you felt about it.
Yeah.
You just asked the question.
So I think that I think I would fall on the lines of, if it's a residual haunt, just a memory repeating itself. I don't see any issues, because in my mind there's no consciousness attached to that activity. There's no potential, and I hate to say this in today's climate, but there's no potential enslavement, if you will, of the spirit in this regard. But if it is an intelligent haunt where, people are interacted with in any number of ways, I think that sometimes when you think about people, right, we know that there are people who have been brought up in a way of being kind of raised up that they seek negative attention, right? Because any attention is better than no attention. And then there are people who weren't raised that way, weren't kind of ignored by their parents or whatever, and so they seek positive attention. They want to do things to please you, because again, any attention is better than no attention. So it stands to reason that if you were like that in life, you might approach the same way in death. And so harming someone or slamming a door or knocking over a piece of furniture or whatever, again, maybe you're still just seeking attention is attention, regardless if I get it from a negative reaction or a positive reaction.
Just because they're dead don't mean they're a fucking saint. They're still dead assholes, just as many as there are.
Well, and there are investigators, Zach Baggins, that go in and potentially, and like purposefully antagonize spirits because it's all for ratings and stuff. So, but I don't want to get on. We can maybe talk about that next. But so when it comes to attention is attention, right? And you really have to ask yourself, then, why are they seeking the attention? And if it is some sort of an intelligent spirit, a consciousness, so to speak, that's trapped in a location, they may be seeking attention because they want to be they want to be sent home, let go, set free, whatever the case may be. So if they're interacting with you to get you to just give up just a little teensy little bit of your human, energy essence so that they can move on, but instead you just record them saying help me, and then say, oh, this must be a recording from when they were murdered here 30 years ago, and not an actual recording of them saying help me today. I think it just really, in my opinion, we have to change the way we think about it. If we agree that a lot of hauntings or spirit involvement in our interaction of the intelligent sort are real, which would imply that there is some other means of life beyond the physical life, then you have to really ask yourself, what if it was a human? What if the hotel was keeping a human at the hotel, and everybody who came to stay at the hotel, the human would go around and knock on your door and let themselves in and turn on your faucet and whisper things in your ear. The hotel never let the human go. They always had to stay at the hotel. How many people would fight for that human's rights?
I'm going to stop you, because I don't think that's different. That is legit enslavement that you're speaking of. A spirit is intelligent. It can choose not to interact. It does not have to. If you're saying it's intelligent, then that means it chooses whether or not it interacts.
Right.
And it's receiving something because it's taking energy, which means it's like an incubus or a succubus in a sense.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Well, that's what you said.
No, it could be stuck there. It could be stuck in that place.
Okay. So it's just like Santosh said, it's working through its karma.
Not necessarily. It could be stuck there because when it died and that white light was presented to it for it to move on to the other side, it chose not to, because it died suddenly. Not necessarily. I mean, yes, it could be karma.
That's also going along the lines of having to remind some spirits that they are dead. I think that this is very interesting. Think about like what's just been discussed in the past couple of minutes, and I think it probably correlates to how you feel about zoos.
I've been thinking about zoos the whole time.
About zoos. I think that I postulate, I put forth that perhaps the way you feel about this on the spirit thing might be the same way that you feel about zoos. Some people can't stand them all. But yeah, that's what, so yay, there, my proof.
Yeah, so I mean,
point proved. Okay, thanks guys, bye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think zoos exist to bring awareness for conservation, but I think that also some animals that are in zoos, I don't know, in that regard, I'm conflicted, because some animals that are in zoos probably couldn't live in the wild. They were born in captivity. They would not know what to do in a wild situation. So
your energy exchange.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
You said a ghost couldn't move on. Well, in a theoretical, one type of ghost couldn't move on without the energy to move around. That's still an energetic exchange.
Yeah. But in regards of what Stefan was saying, where it's a succubus or an incubus, where
I'm just using something that's feeding, taking energy.
Yeah.
An exchange.
So feeding though is different. Feeding though is like it needs it to survive. What I'm saying is that it needs it to move on, to open that door, to take the leap into the light, so on and so forth. And so it's getting your attention so that you will offer that to it.
I see that bumps up to me is this whole, like, the unsaid during this whole has been the assuming the power of the one doing the cleansing, like that, like it's the interloper that's now being given more leeway to do with however they please, because it's like, just because you go in and say go to the light doesn't mean that the place is clear when you fucking leave.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And so,
and I do think that there are some places that are like a vacuum, and they just kind of pull in energies that are in the vicinity. And so, Stanley Hotel may be one of those where you may go in one night and cleanse it of everything, and then the very next night there's all new stuff there. I mean, it's very possible.
I mean, was the house cleansed at the end of Poltergeist or not?
Right. Or was it a portal? Right. Like, is there a portal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like the use of the term enslavement. because I don't think that people are enslaving spirits. I think spirits enslave themselves.
That used to be sorcery and stuff back in the day. I mean, there are grimoires and magic where that's exactly what you're doing, is you're bending them to your will and your service. I think that magic has fallen out of favor mostly.
And how do you know it wasn't in practice for older places that have been around since back in that time, that have been haunted since that time?
I don't know, but what I can tell you is that our B&B has the nicest ghosts around. Come on.
That makes me, I love that show, Ghosts. You guys ever seen that about the B&B where she can see the ghosts?
No.
Oh, you should totally watch it. It's good. There's a British version and an American version, and they're both excellent.
I want to see that. I think it's a movie. Maybe it's a series on Netflix. We Have a Ghost with what's his phrase?
Oh yeah, with the dude from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty good. I mean, I guess what I would say to kind of wrap it around for me is that I think that we have to, the people in the community who believe that spirits can interact with you, and more so than just a memory repeating. I think it's probably worth an evaluation of how they think about the spirit. Do they see it as just a residual energy, or do they see it as a continuation of life outside of the physical plane? Because maybe that would change how people interact with spirits. So,
I mean,
spirits have rights,
right? Spirits have rights. Capitalism sucks.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought of one other thing. Have you all watched, switching topics again, have you all watched any of the Skinwalker Ranch season 4?
No.
Is it out? I've been trying to find where.
Yeah, it's April through August was season 4. It's so, Discovery Plus got dissolved because HBO pretty much bought all the stuff that was on Discovery Plus. But the one thing it didn't get was the current season of Skinwalker Ranch. So I think they have seasons 1, 2, and 3, but probably like next year they'll get season 4.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, I've been looking, but I couldn't find it.
So I went and Philo, which is like the cheapest internet cable, like YouTube TV or Hulu TV or whatever. Like Philo's the, what's the other one? Sling, yeah. But like Philo is by far the cheapest that included History Channel. And so I went out and watched it. And wow. I would say that if I could figure out a way for the two of you to watch it before we record for next month, that could be an entire episode. Because they do some amazing things. They have some amazing discoveries. If anybody who's listening right now has not watched it, I highly encourage you to do so. Because whereas in previous years of Skinwalker Ranch, it was like, yeah, cool, they had, the cow got mutilated, but what is it? But like this season, no, I mean, it's some amazing, and I don't want to necessarily ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it or will watch it, but just like they get some real solid evidence of UAP visiting the ranch, and they get some real solid evidence of a potential portal or wormhole on the ranch. So
cool.
Yeah. But what I was going to say about all of that when I brought it up is what are your all's thoughts on, so they find this potential portal, wormhole, whatever, and of course all the scientist guys are like, oh, it's a portal to somewhere else in space, but there's nothing that says that a wormhole has to be to some other galaxy or universe or whatever. What if it's a wormhole to inner Earth?
Or to my bathroom? That would be really nice.
That's what the UAPs are. Every time you take a poop, it just flies. It just flies by. But they're white, so I don't know if that. Did you fall in some crud?
You poop.
Unidentified anomalous poop.
Yeah. I mean, what if UAPs are poop? What if the aliens, the unmanned UAPs, are just poop? What if
That's
they're
what a
like,
Muamua is. It's just big space Godzilla poop.
Slung from a galaxy far, far away.
But yes, I mean, it really, because and if you watch the season, like I said, I'll figure out how to get you guys to be able to watch it.
I'm only halfway through the second season.
Okay. Well, I would say you can skip the rest of it, second, 2, and 3, and just watch 4 and be fine. So, also, they launch a lot of rockets. Like, it seems like that Travis guy, he's like, there's a UAP, let's launch a rocket. We're getting some anonymous readings, let's launch a rocket. Like, I feel like that's a meme or something waiting to happen. Is instead of the guy from Ancient Aliens saying, I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens. It's Travis saying, let's launch a rocket. Let's launch a rocket. So it's the new UAP task force slogan. Let's launch a rocket.
Yeah. Space Force.
So anyways, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Astral Stew, because I can tell Stefan is done. He's like, this is boring. I'm gonna move on. I gotta go take a UAP.
Been on a roll for a minute, and we were politely waiting.
Yeah,
You've just been talking.
I gotta go take a UA poop. So, well, did you all have anything else to add to that? At all?
God. Nothing but sass.
Okay.
Nothing but sass.
Well, yeah. Go out, check out anotherrealmmedia.com for the shows that are on the network. If you have a podcast and you would like to be on the network, there's a form on there for you to submit. Let us know. We'll see if I can get you on the network. And if you would like to watch or follow any of the stuff that the great Santosh is doing, you can go to SantosDavid333.com, and they can get you on Instagram. I believe is SantosDavid333, correct? Awesome.
Sure is.
And
on YouTube and on all the stuffs.
All the stuffs. And then lastly, this, of course, is the video portion is on YouTube. But if you want to listen in a podcast form, this is also available as a podcast on most, if not all, major podcast providers. As of the last episode,
it is officially on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for sure.
And pretty much Apple, like once it's on Apple, it gets picked up pretty much everywhere else. So, you
can we do creepy catch up next time as well?
Yeah, we can do creepy catch up. Yeah, we haven't done that in a bit. So, all right. Thank you all again for tuning in, and this has been Josh, and I'll catch you next time. And
this has been Stefan. Josh finally shut up.
I don't know if this has been Santosh or not.
So tune in next time and we'll find out if this has been Santosh or not. Later.
See you at the next portal.
Deuces.